ride.
Some takes free rides.
Yes.
Like, what are you supposed to do now?
Yes.
I got some headlight lenses.
Mm-hmm.
Just put 2 in there for a week and it'd be brighter than ever.
I might have to. How bad is your vision? Bad.
She called me Harry. Did I tell you?
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, it's a little delayed reaction.
Yes.
I show 7 o'clock. You ready? All right. Reverend Deal, will you say a prayer for us, please, sir?
I invite you to join me in prayer if you're so inclined. Oh God, we give you thanks for this day. We give you thanks for this opportunity tonight to celebrate a part of our town, great work that these men and young boys have done. We ask that you would be with us, that you would give us goodness of heart, and that you would give us clearness of mind, that we might do all we can to help everyone. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, sir. First thing on the agenda is a proclamation. Second year in a row we're doing this one, so it's proclamation recognition of achievement for 2022 Dixie Junior Boys World Series champions, Central Clemson 13 and under baseball. So I'm just going to read this real quick. Whereas recreational athletics play an important role in keeping youth active and developing a solid foundation in their respective sports and fostering a community with their teammates. And whereas in 2022, the Central Clemson Recreation 13 and under programs, 11 talented players and 3 dedicated coaches finished their season with a 16-1 winning record, including state and World Series games. And whereas the hard work, dedication, talent, and sportsmanship exhibited throughout the season enabled this team to win an unheard of accomplishment of back-to-back South Carolina state championships and back-to-back World Series championships in the 2021 Dixie Youth World Series held in Laurel, Mississippi, and the Dixie Junior Boys World Series held in Sterlington, Louisiana. Now, therefore, Town Central, on behalf of the Central Council, do hereby congratulate the players and coaches of the 13 under recreation baseball team on their Dixie Junior Boys World Series championship win. So, congratulations, everybody. Give them a round of applause. We've got some certificates for you.
We gotta vote. We gotta vote.
Oh, yeah, let's do it. Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the proclamation of 2022 Dixie Junior Boys World Series champions.
I will second that. All in favor? Thank you. Very good. All right, let's do this.
Everybody move. They're gonna be some
Parents, you're
pictures.
welcome, and your kid comes up, just step right up here, take a picture, there's no
Harry,
problem.
you all right?
It's perfect.
I can
It's
see it.
very
I'm just short, I don't see it.
Is there, that's fine. So please, you feel free to come right up, take a picture, and boys, when you get your certificate, step over to the side, then we're gonna get a team picture with everybody in the mayor, so.
Coach Obi. Did I say that right? How did I say that? Coach McKibben. Manager Josh Riley. Congratulations. Dave McKibben. There he is. Jackson Omby. Theo LeMathieu. How'd I do that? How'd I say that? He's in Wisconsin. Okay, well, good. He didn't see me flunk out. That was good. Ryan Hendricks. Jaden Hughes. Luke Turner. Ty Simpson.
Happy birthday to you. All right, good job, guys. Guys, get everybody slide down here. We can get a team picture right quick. Parents, again, you're welcome to come up here to get a picture. Yes, sir. Okay. Good job. Good job. Come on forward, parents. Good shot here. All right. Coach Josh, you might want to organize. I'm sure you've had to do this enough times.
They're all taller than me. Hey, little ones get down.
All right, Josh, Coach Josh, we can't see you at all. There we go. All right. All right, Ty, slide in right beside him right there. That'll be perfect.
Everybody look at Tom first, and then
All right, right here, get all right. All right, here we go. On three. 1, 2, 3. Let me get one more. 1, 2, 3. All right, parents, step in. Oh, hold on, Ty. Y'all hold on. Then once you get these. All right, here. All right, let's turn yours over. All right, here we go. 1. Look right here at the parents. 1, 2, 3. Everybody get you? All right, good job. We'll see y'all up at Central Suites here in just a minute.
Yes, let's miss early. Here was some ice cream.
is that it, Harry? We finished?
Yeah, I thought you were frozen up there.
Good trying, man. Let's go.
Next item on the agenda is reading of the minutes from our meeting on July 11th, 2022. It's in your packet. Any questions about that? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we adopt the reading of minutes 7/11/2022.
I'll second that. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand, please. Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is our public session for 30 minutes. We invite members of the town or citizens of Town Central to share their concerns or anything they'd like to say for public session at this time. Come on up.
Am I allowed to first?
Yeah, please.
Hey, I'm a graduate student here. I go to Clemson. I live in Central.
What's your name?
Ian Stewart. And I saw that Clemson was doing some stuff to make their city more commute friendly. Like I think they're adding a bikeway, if I'm fairly sure, that at least where I live in the University Village would go down that road and allow me to bike instead of have to drive every day. I was wondering if Central was doing anything like that to try and like make it more commuter friendly.
I don't know, I'm not aware of anything that we are specifically looking at right now other than the bike trail, Green Crescent Trail, where we've been involved in connecting that in our area, but that's something we can look at.
Okay. Do you have stuff on your, I kind of skimmed through your website a little bit. Do you have any information, like any ways to get involved in that kind of stuff? Like,
Not that I'm aware of, but I'd love to connect with you about that, and we can
Okay.
talk about it moving forward, sure.
all right. That's all I had right now.
Appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
So I have a couple of contacts on the Green Crescent Trail. So that, like the mayor alluded to, they've been partnering with us as that trail's growing. So you can reach out to me, get my contact after the meeting, and I'll connect you with them. They meet often, and typically they pulse one of us, as obviously we're wanting to partner with them in that growth.
Well said. Anybody else? Okey-doke. Next item on the agenda, receipt and disposition of petitions. Anything, Mr. Mishu?
No, this time, Mr. Mayor.
Reports from council committees. Planning, Ms. Bowers, please.
has a meeting next Tuesday. That's all.
Streets and Public Safety, Mr. Moss, please.
Yes, we was informed that we was down with 4 officers, and we need to try our best to get those positions filled as quickly as possible for the safety of our citizens. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Finance and Marketing, Ms. Chapman, please.
Yes, on the monthly financial report, we look good in 3 of the areas, water, sewer, and sanitation look good. The general fund is, in the red, $107,071. And I'll just defer to Mr. Mishu if he, I'm sure he has an explanation for that.
Actually, in your water and sewer, normally this time of year, you're gonna be in the negative because the college kids aren't here, so it's kind of a surprise, a good surprise that those two started out in the black. So far as general fund goes, we don't have any, we have very little general fund revenue coming in at this time of year, so being at 107,000 is not unusual. But I will remind you that we hold back money in February and March when we have property taxes coming in and your business license and things like that to cover these months, which we call the cold months. They'll run from now until January. So I think you can expect that to probably stay around in that general area for the rest of this calendar year.
All right.
Any questions from council? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Recreation, Mr. Dill, please.
Super Saturday will be Saturday, August 27th, starting at 10 a.m. Fire department will be grilling hamburgers, hot dogs, like they've done for the past 31 years to help support the recreation program and to bring some more money in for our rec program. The small pool repairs have been made at the rec center, and it's operating. Still not quite warm, but we're waiting for parts to come in on that. Also, perhaps you have noticed that Tom Clore worked out a deal with Norfolk Southern so that we were able to move those cross ties that have been in downtown Central forever and move them down onto the land that that Norfolk Southern owns, but to get them out of our line of sight and all the other stuff that goes along with that. And so we were able to do that. I just want to point out that Norfolk Southern subcontracts with a company to move those things. And so in their eyes, if they didn't have anything to do with it, they've already contracted. And they said that those contractors are about 1.5 years behind. So it would have been there even longer. So I want to thank Tom and the rec people for taking the time to move those and help clearing up our downtown. That's all I have.
Thank you. Enterprise, Mr. Holliday, please.
Yes, sir. Sanitation Department worked on a normal schedule for the month of July. Our work orders are still up around 200, 199, but our customer disconnects for non-payment gone back up to 55. Had 47 on pay after reconnected. That's getting back up in the high range again. We were down in the 20s there for a while, but everything else is going pretty good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Tourism and Economic Development, Mr. Hayes, please.
So I just want to take this time to kind of celebrate something I was thinking about today. Of course, most of you know the Bee's Knees had their opening this week. It's pretty amazing what they've done to that facility, which was an eyesore at one point. And it got me thinking about some of the other facilities. You know, often I drive through town and I look at some of the dilapidated buildings and think negative, but I started to think about other facilities. the one that Mr. Molinex, he purchased north of town. Central Suites, which is hosting our World Series. Team Tonight, CrossFit, who took over the Central Station garage. Urban Central, took out a little slice of Main Street there to put a cute shop in. Of course, Jitters, the business we own, that building was vacant for 17 years. And each one of those facilities are part of Central's history, so it's something we should be proud of. We should continue to, as a council and community, foster those type of businesses to come to our town and occupy some of these buildings and these structures that are part of our history. So I just wanted to celebrate that tonight. I know we'll have discussion and executive session regarding the laundromat. So hopefully we'll continue on that trend of seeing good small businesses come to these facilities and revitalize them.
Very good. Thanks, sir. Anything else? New business, anything on the agenda? I don't see anything for new or old business. So we'll go to introduction and consideration of new ordinances, policies, proclamation, and resolutions. We have first reading the policy 08082022 about travel and meal reimbursement, essentially allowing our town travel and meal reimbursement to be brought up to match the state rate. I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we adopt policy 8-8-2022.
Second.
Motion on the table is to adopt policy 08082022, travel and meal reimbursement. Any discussion, please? All those in favor, raise your right hand, please. Very good, thank you. Next item is consideration of ordinances and policies already in possession of council. We have our second reading for our ordinance 08082022, erosion prevention and sediment control inspector. Again, this is our SEPSI inspector program that allows us to put a little bit of teeth behind controlling stormwater runoff. Passed on first ordinance last time, so we are up for second reading tonight, and I will entertain a motion there.
I move that we adopt on second reading ordinance 8-8-2022.
Second.
Motion is to adopt on second reading ordinance 08082022, erosion prevention and sediment control inspector. Any discussion on this? All those in favor, raise your right hand, please. And thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is second reading of ordinance 08082022, amendment section 2-58AB, appearance of citizens. This adds to our appearance of citizens section, so our public comment period, business owners in the town. By town code, right now it's people that live in town can speak and within town limits, and this adds business owners to the town even if they don't live in the town. So again, this is second reading. I'll entertain a motion on that.
I move that we adopt ordinance 8-8-2022, amendment to section 2-58AB.
Second.
Motion on the table is to approve on second reading ordinance 08082022, amendment section 2-58AB, appearance of citizens. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand, please. Very good, thank you. Next item on the agenda, reports for administration or mayor. Mr. Mishu, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
We have the PCMA meeting August 22nd. Starts at 6 p.m. It's going to be at Central. So you need to RSVP Susan if you want to come. How many of y'all planning on coming? It's kind of early, but you know.
Yeah.
I'll try.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4. Must. Want to give you an update on the Church Street Waterline project. All the contracts have been signed, so it's green lighted. We don't think materials are going to be here until the first of next year. So you're looking at They're saying February. That's cold weather, so you don't normally want to do that in cold weather. Might be dealing with frozen pipes and things like that. So probably mid-March. I think if we've got the materials, then we'll be able to start mid-March. So a long time between signing a contract and actually doing work, and that's your supply chain issues that's going on all over the country. The cross ties, I know Mr. Dill brought that up. We did have one complaint that taxpayer resources were being used to do what the railroad should have done anyway. I understand. I also understand we don't want to look at that eyesore during our Christmas parade and during our festivals come April. So Tom and I made the decision, once they gave us permission, to just go ahead and do it. We didn't think it would take that long. It doesn't look that hard, does it? 2 days, 2 full days, 3 employees, a little bit of fuel. But it looks a lot better. So after we already made that decision and they were moving ties, I did notify the mayor, the person that called complaining. That's what I told them the same thing. So I think it looks a lot better. Sorry we had to use resources. We got plenty of other things to do. There's plenty of limbs and, lit trees and debris that needs to be picked up with that grapple truck that we were using for 2 days, but I think it was well worth it. But I did want you to know that I think Tom got about 150 thank yous, so it's 150 to 1, if that makes you feel any better. But that's not a scientific poll, by the way. The clock. Has anybody seen the clock? What time is it? It's 10 till 7. And it'll be 10 till 7 the next time you check it. It's not working. So we are working on that. We've called the people that work on the clock. The company that used to work on it, he's retired. Somebody else has picked up the business, and somehow our maintenance agreement got lost in the shuffle. So we're working on getting that maintenance agreement back in place. So if you get any phone calls that say the clock's not right, say it is, twice a day. We're working on it being accurate more often than just twice a day. So I'm guessing maybe a couple of weeks or so. I normally get a phone call. I was actually the one that came down to town hall and said, hey, do y'all know the clock's not working? So I actually noticed it before somebody called me. I will be out of town next week. I'm going to be at a Brownfields conference that is being paid for by the grant, so it doesn't cost the town of Central anything. Any questions from council?
That water project, do they expect the prices to go up any more between now and the first of the year? I mean, are we pretty well locked in where we at?
Nobody can give me a straight answer. We're just, the contractor hasn't guaranteed the prices because they're fluctuating so much, mostly fluctuating up. When I say fluctuate, I guess it's not fluctuating, that's just going up. So the agreement that we have with them is whenever it gets delivered and put down on the ground, whatever the price is, they're going to hand us the invoice. And we're going to be responsible for whatever that price is. That started, we were actually the first contract with the grants people that started with. I think that's the rules now until prices become more stable. So we have put things in place. Some of what we committed, we had to commit another $75,000 to it, and the grants people were going to commit another $250,000. The grants people allowed us to hold the $75,000 back to cover the possible increase in the materials. So we've got things in place to cover the increase in materials. So, that's not going to the contractor. The contractor's just going to hand us the invoice for the materials. Most of the time what they do, I think, is they go to their supplier and say, I need this, and they pay for it right then. And then when the materials come in, it's that price. But that's because the materials don't fluctuate, have never fluctuated like they're fluctuating now. So supplier can't guarantee the price. Supplier can't hold it, therefore the contractor can't hold it. It becomes somebody's responsibility and becomes the end user, which is us.
Thank you, sir.
All right, any other questions?
I have another question. It's not not about any of this, but just a discussion that I had this week with some people in town. Could we put it up for next month or something like that to look about having a Christmas tree that's downtown as well as a Christmas tree that's here in front of Town Hall? Now that we've got all that cleared out down there, and it would, for the caboose lighting, Christmas parade and all that kind of stuff, if we could book into the town, into the town with Christmas trees, that might be a nice thing.
Yeah, we can talk about it. We used to put it on that hill.
Right, I remember
But
that.
it became so dangerous for the public works guys to put that up. They were slipping and falling and sliding down. We had somebody get hurt. So
And-
we decided not to put it there anymore.
Right, somebody suggested that they'd be willing to pitch in and help build a little platform or something like that that would make it safe to have people put it up or that kind of thing. So anyway, just for something for us to put on.
That's a
have a
good,
discussion.
good suggestion. If we were to put it back remotely close to where it was, that would work, but that's railroad property, so, you know, you and I might be still talking about this with the railroad this time next year, because we're gonna have to get permission to put a platform up there.
Yeah.
But if you want to put a platform on the railroad property, now's the time to start talking about it.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe we can get permission. And I'm just gonna guess, you're probably gonna need an engineer drawing and surveyed out exactly where you're gonna put it, and then they can come and lay hands on it and bless it, and then we can build it. It may not take as long as I'm thinking, you know, but if we're gonna put it where I think would be a good place, which is right back where it was, except put it up flat on the hill,
Right.
maybe where the road is.
Right,
Yeah, we'll put that on the work session
okay,
next
thank you,
month.
sir.
All right, any other questions?
Yes, sir. I had some calls about the ordinance changing on the hours for construction.
Uh-huh.
We had last week, or is that dead, or is it gonna be brought back up? or
Well,
what?
it's not on the agenda tonight, so it's not up for discussion. It can be put back on the work session next month.
Yeah, I think it's important to note that there was never a draft ordinance. It was just a memo from the town for us to discuss. So as of right now, there's no proposed ordinance.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, any other questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you. I have just one item. We had discussed this, doing a salary study to take a look at with unemployment being 3.5%. It's really low. It's hard to find good people. Mr. Moss mentioned earlier, we have some police officers vacancies, which we're getting into an issue where pay we're having trouble keeping people because of pay. So we were looking at doing a salary study, and I would like to make a motion that we authorize the town administration to do a salary study for us to discuss about how we can start at our entry-level folks and see what a commensurate rate would be for their work. So I'd like to make a motion that we authorize the town administration to do a salary study, to take a look at what we pay our people.
Second.
Motion is to authorize town administration to do a salary study for town employees. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand, please. Thank you. Pursuant to South Carolina Code of Law, Section 30-4-70A1, and Legal Issues Section 30-4-70A2, Town Council will go into executive session to discuss a personnel matter and a contractual matter regarding a potential lease purchase agreement for city property. We will be in recess for that. I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we go into executive session for a contractual matter as well as a personnel matter.
Second.
Motion is to go into executive session. All those in favor, raise your right hand, please. And we are in recess.